Right, we have another wonderful New Zealand summer's day of grey clouds, heavy rain. The ground is just wet and muddy. I'm here to take the romance out of building buses. Yesterday we had a paint can explosion, and this is after it's cleaned up. Everything was bright yellow yesterday, including my face and my glasses, and yeah, I wasn't happy. Fortunately today I can laugh about it. So I will say, don't let the bad days put you off building a bus. As much as some days like today I'd absolutely just like to give up and just take a big bus and go and park on a beach, we don't have that option now, so we should carry on, and I know the finished product is going to be well worth it. So, but I just want you to know, I know people watch these videos and go, ooh, what an amazing life, ooh, what an amazing bus, ooh, that looks like so much fun. It is, but it can be a real challenge as well. So you've been warned. If you ever think of building a bus, and I haven't heard from many people that have said otherwise yet, there are those days that you just think, what have I decided to do? Because we've been traveling for what, 3.5 years now, we already know what's at the other end of this, and that's what keeps me going. It was probably a bit silly to take on such a project so soon after a heart attack and stroke. I keep losing things, I keep forgetting things, but we're getting there, and that's the main thing. So yeah, don't be put off. Just remember there's going to be not so great days sometimes too. We were hoping to get our floor and our walls up this week and actually start building couches. However, we've had a week of hospital appointments and doctor's appointments, and we've had to go to Hamilton, and I think, when is it? Saturday. We're going to be heading over to Napier Hastings. I've been invited to speak at International Men's Day, so I'm really excited, looking forward to that. So yeah, so we were hoping to get the bus to a stage where we could throw some mattresses in the back and take it over, but obviously, as you can see, we are nowhere near that stage. So these two hoses here were connected to a lever on here that originally open and closed our door. You can see the pipes go all the way through to underneath where our door opener and closer is. And it was also because what happened was I was driving the bus and came to an intersection and put my foot on the brakes and literally had to stand on them to bring the bus to a stop. And what had happened is, what I didn't realise was the door opener ear is connected to the air cylinder for the brakes as well, and so because we had the tubes disconnected, there was basically air leaking out, so therefore the brakes weren't getting assisted by the air to function as well as they normally do. I mean, they work, but it was just a lot harder to push them. So yeah, when disconnecting things, probably a great piece of advice I'm giving myself here is to check anything else that it might be linked to. So yeah, lesson learned. Right, so under here, this is our brake air tank, and when we lifted this piece of floor up, you literally couldn't see it from the dirt. The dirt was caked like up here somewhere from all the dust and dirt it's collected over the years of driving around New Zealand. So Cindy is wonderfully and painstakingly trying to remove all the dirt from under our bus.
A vacuum cleaner would be probably easier.
Yeah. The other thing is, while the floor's up, I had these great plans, which I would probably recommend, of putting all our water tanks and plumbing and everything in under the bus while I had access to under the floor. That would probably be the wise thing to do, but we really want to get this floor in and get it as livable as possible, because we're just finding it's really hard to do a whole lot of other stuff, and I haven't got all the plumbing yet. I need to go and sort out and organise where the plumbing's going exactly. So I think I'll be climbing under the bus again. This will be the second bus that I've plumbed, so hopefully I'll be a bit more clued up this time and get it done a bit quicker and have the right tools. I tell you what, the best thing about this build so far is buying the tools. I've always tried. I've not been a big tool buying person. I've never had a lot of tools, and when we've been doing work on our old bus, I've always used hand tools. Like I did all the plumbing by hand, all the screwing was with just a screwdriver, all the cutting, I cut all the wood just with a hand saw, and so having the power tools have been absolutely magic on this build. I said to Cindy, there's no way we're doing this build by hand, as in just using hand tools. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty excited actually. Cindy said I'm getting a bit addicted to buying tools now. I found my new passion in life. So we've started putting a floor in, and the trickiness with the floor is that if you have a look at the floor underneath the frame of the bus body, it's oddly spaced between, well, the cross members basically. So those bars going across, because when you're laying the floor you need your seams to be lined up on these bars, so the floor won't flex down. So now we've got to measure up all the distances and work out how best to cut the ply without wasting too much. So yeah, love a challenge. It's the little things, eh? You see on our drill there's this nice little magnetic spot where you can just put all the screws that you're about to put in, so you don't have to carry them and fish through your pocket. As I said, it's the little things. Rightio, so today we are lining the steel sides of the bus, so that's all the stuff that we've just treated. And we're putting this damp-proof sealer through, or paper. What is it? Is it a bitumen thing? What's it called? Let's have a look. It's called Thermocraft Damp-Proof Course. So basically, that will separate when we put our wooden walls on. That will separate the steel from the wood, and the idea is to stop dampness, to stop your walls from getting mouldy from the dampness, particularly in winter, because wood against steel is not the best option in the world. And so we will go around the entire bus installing this stuff, and hopefully that will keep any mildew or mould or dampness off our walls, floor and ceiling, because part of our last bus wasn't done, and you'll be able to see on the, I think it was on our back ceiling, which we ended up replacing, we ended up getting lines of black sort of mould from the dampness across the roof. So yeah, so we ended up pulling all that out and replacing it. Rightio, so mostly the underneath of our bus and the walls and stuff have been in really mint condition. There is just the odd spot, as mentioned, that we've had to deal to a little bit of rust, surface rust, or these old buses tend to leak. It was quite funny actually, I was talking to someone else who is doing a similar bus build. They've got a 1952 Bedford, and he messaged the other day and said, finding leaks. It's like, yeah, the old buses, they just seem to love to rain on the inside as well. So we're just doing small. What I'm doing today is, if you have a look at our, you can see here, so they're just our wheel arches, so not overly important, but not overly important. So all I'm going to do is literally just cut across the top here, take that piece out, rust guard the rest of it and paint it, and then literally rivet in a new piece of steel or tin or whatever it is that they've used there. We've got some excess stuff from when we pulled the flooring out, and just patch that little bit up, and I'd say by then we're ready to put the rest of our floor down, which I'm really flipping excited about. Bad steel. It's a bit windy out here, so hopefully you can hear me, but I don't know, I had to cut out a bit of rust out of the wheel arch, so I'm going to repurpose. This is the steel that was running along the inside edge of the bus, which took up a lot of room because it was curved and set out quite fast. So we took all of that out. So I'm literally just going to cut a piece out of here and rivet it into our wheel arch, and that should solve that problem. Right, so this is my daughter Cassia. She doesn't come travelling with us because she's a bit worried about braving a bus toilet and shower and, you know, all the usual home luxuries that teenagers love. So I was just taking the door mechanism out, but my batteries have gone flat and they need a charge. So Cassia and I, say hi Cassia. Hi Cassia. We're going to go for a driving lesson. So I've got my heart spray. What do I do with it? Hopefully I've got it, in case my blood pressure goes a bit high. So I think we're good to go. She's a natural. Oh my goodness, where have we ended up? That's not a road, that's trees.